that pussy, bitch.
No kidding. What's up, y'all? This is Big Mike, coming to you from my humble home, and you are tuned in to Big Mike's blog, the best blog on YouTube. Now, I say this, people may think, oh, wow, he's cocky. How dare he say that, his blog is the best blog. He's arrogant, blah, blah, blah. Look, people, but I'm not, I don't have a cocky or arrogant bone in my body. I'm just saying that I think my blog is pretty awesome, and I've gotten good feedback so far. I'm not dissing any other blogs. I'm not saying your blogs suck. Everyone is free to do a video blog as much as they wish. I just like my blog and the way it's going so far. I have a wide array of stuff that I've talked about, as you could see. I've talked about some serious stuff, some funny stuff, but today this one is going to be a little bit more lighthearted, okay? As you know, or if you should know, but if you don't know, I'm going to tell you. NBA playoff season is upon us, okay? The playoffs. As you can see, rocking the Raptors hat, Toronto Raptors. So I'm going to give you my playoff preview, meaning in terms of my pick for the NBA Finals, who I think is going to win and why, and how do I think my Raptors are going to fare, okay? So, I told you, look, this is not just going to be a relationship blog, people. I'm not just going to be sitting there talking about why I can't find a girlfriend or stuff like that. I'm going to be talking about sports and stuff because I am a sports fanatic and junkie, okay? So, also any girl who's going to date me is going to have to accept the fact that I like sports. So, anyway, so to kind of put it together, the playoffs start tomorrow. The Raptors game actually is tomorrow. They're playing the Wizards, the Washington Wizards. It's going to be in Toronto. Toronto's going to be nuts. It's going to be psychotic there. Tickets are like $10,000. People are going to be selling their arms and kidneys and organs to get tickets because you're not going to get a ticket basically. And I accepted the fact that I'm not going to a playoff game, but I did attend a game this week, so I'm very happy about that. But I digress. So I'm looking at my phone, my Bleacher Report app, and I'm just kind of going to give you guys the laydown of all the playoff teams, who's playing, and who do I see advancing through the round. So if I'm gonna do a pick right now, I would pick right now the Raptors because I'm a homer to beat the Wizards in about, I'd say, 5 games. They're gonna win 4 games to 1. The next series is the Pelicans, New Orleans Pelicans. They're playing against the Golden State Warriors, who's bar none, hands down, the best team in the league, or has been the best team in the league so far this year. Don't give the Pelicans much of a chance. I might give them 1 game at best, but I don't really see them making a lot of damage, unfortunately. Let's see. Also, the Bulls and the Bucks. So the Milwaukee Bucks and the Chicago Bulls are playing tomorrow as well. Really don't give the Bucks much of a chance in that series either. Not unfortunately. I just don't really give the Bucks much of a chance. And then the Rockets and the Mavericks are playing tomorrow as well. That's a little bit of a toss-up. I see that series going either way. I'll give the Rockets a chance, but I could see that series actually going 7 games. I see that series being fairly competitive. Now we move on to Sunday. So the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers are playing tomorrow, followed by the Nets and the Brooklyn Nets and the Atlanta Hawks. And the Atlanta Hawks had the best record in the Eastern Conference. They were probably the best team in the Eastern Conference. And then the Grizzlies and the Blazers, the Portland Trail Blazers and the Memphis Grizzlies are playing tomorrow, and the Spurs and the Clippers. So to pick the first game, the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers, I'm going to probably take Cleveland and probably a sweep. I don't really see Boston putting up much of a fight or really making the series really competitive. The Brooklyn Nets and Atlanta Hawks, I'll give the Brooklyn Nets at least 1 game maybe to win, but I see Atlanta winning that series. Wow, the Blazers and the Grizzlies. That's a tough one. But I'm probably going to go with Memphis because Memphis is probably the more consistent team all year. And I like their bigs. I like Gasol and Randolph. I don't really trust Portland deep in the playoffs anyway, so I'd probably go with the Grizzlies. And now the last one is the Spurs and the Clippers. And actually the Spurs, surprisingly, who won the championship last year, they're the 6th seed. And the Clippers are the 3rd seed. But I'm honestly going to pick the Spurs to win this series because right now the Spurs are hot. They've won I think they've lost like 2 or 3 games in the past, like their past 27 games or something like that. They've gone on this crazy hot winning streak right now. So I don't see a team really beating them. So to recap, we have the Raptors winning the series, Golden State in the West winning their series, the Bulls in the East winning their series, and I guess the Rockets winning their series. So the playoff matchup, I believe, would be, and then Cleveland. All right, so for the East, it would be I'm picking the Raptors, I'm picking Cleveland, I'm picking the Hawks, and I'm picking the Bulls. So the way the playoff structure sets up is the 1 seed, who is Atlanta, would play the 4 seed, which is, I believe, the Raptors. Yeah, would be the Raptors, and then the 2 seed, which is Chicago, which is Cleveland, would play the 3 seed, which would be Chicago. Now, the Raptors have beaten Atlanta twice this year, so I do give them a puncher's chance. And I think in terms of experience, Atlanta and Toronto is fairly similar in terms of experience because people say, oh, well, playoff experience matters the most. Not so much. I think it's just a matter of the way the teams have been playing so far. It's a toss-up to me, but I'm a homer. I'm going to pick the Raptors to beat Atlanta. It'll be a tight 7-game series, but I will pick the Raptors to beat Atlanta. And then it's going to be Cleveland against the Bulls. As much as I like Chicago, I don't think they have enough scoring power to handle Cleveland. So I'll probably pick Cleveland in 6. The Western Conference now, I picked the Warriors, the Rockets, the Grizzlies, and the Spurs. So I believe how that would be I believe Golden State would play the Spurs, and the Grizzlies would play the Rockets. I think that's how it breaks down. So the Warriors against the Spurs is a very interesting series. But I think I'd probably pick the Spurs actually in that series to go 7 games. I'd probably pick the Spurs in that series. And then the Rockets and the Grizzlies. I don't trust the Rockets, so I'd probably pick the Grizzlies in 7 as well. Probably go 5, 6, 7 games. So then it would be basically the Eastern Conference Final. I'm picking, amazingly or not, believe it or not, I'm picking the Raptors in Cleveland. The Western Conference, I'm picking Memphis and the Spurs. Now, the Eastern Conference, it pains me to say this, people. And as a Raptors fan, I have to be objective, okay? I can't just be a homer. I don't see the Raptors beating the Cleveland Cavaliers in the playoff series. I think that they can give them a good run. I think they're going to play them tough. I just don't know if they could stop LeBron and Kyrie. I'm not really worried about Kevin Love, but those two are really going to be the key. And they're playing good defense, Cleveland, too. And the problem with the Raptors is I watched the game when they played against Charlotte. They were taking really crazy shots. They were being a little bit too lackadaisical with the basketball, and I don't think with Cleveland you can do that. You can get away with that with the Charlotte Bobcats. You can't really get away with that with the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I picked the Cleveland Cavaliers in 5 in that series, actually. Now going to the Western Conference, I picked the Spurs and the Grizzlies. I hate the Spurs. I legitimately hate the Spurs. But I don't know if Memphis has enough offense that they can score against the Spurs. And I think the Spurs can slow down Gasol and Randolph with Duncan and Splitter. So that's kind of the equalizer for me. So I think I'll probably pick the Spurs in about 6 games. So my NBA Finals pick, it's Cleveland and the Spurs to go to the NBA Finals, okay? Now, I will probably be doing blogs as these picks change and fluctuate, obviously. But this is my initial one right now. I will do ones as the series ends. I will do blogs to kind of update and kind of see where they are and kind of do my picks. My picks can change, okay? But I'm just doing an initial one now. And I'd probably right now pick, if I had to pick between Cleveland and the Spurs, I'd probably go with the Spurs again to back-to-back to win their second title in 2 years. And it pains me to say this because I really hate the Spurs. Although Tim Duncan does have a really cute girlfriend. So shout out to Tim Duncan for his cute girlfriend. But I really do not like the Spurs. So I'm really hoping that with this pick I am wrong. But I am an objective person, okay? I'm not just a homer, although I'm rocking Toronto, and I would love nothing more than Toronto to surprise everyone and win the championship, okay? But just based off the way their team is right now, the way they're structured, I'm just not so sure about their chances. But I can hope, I can dream. Go Raptors. Okay, this is who my home team is, and any of you Raptors haters who have any problem with my pick, I will show you all my Raptors hats that I've bought and all my Toronto stuff. Okay, so no one ever dare question my loyalty to the Raptors because I'm a Raptors fan through and through, and I will always support the Raptors. But I have to be objective because this is my blog. Okay. With that being said, I bid you guys adieu. I'm gonna post this up there. I'm gonna be doing playoff previews after every round is finished, and then I'll kind of obviously my picks will probably change because I highly doubt that that I will be right. But if I am right, then I need to go buy a lottery ticket today because I'm gonna win the Lotto Max. That's right.